I believe that we're having a very good time and we are taking notes and then we are learning new things each time we meet. So today we would like to do a recap on what we learned yesterday. And I would like to know what you've taken, what are the new things or the new critical point that you've taken from yesterday's lesson. So I would like to take about 5 because we have 10 minutes. Um, so what are your takes on yesterday's lesson? Anyone to start for us? Adam, I saw your
Um,
mic on. I don't know whether you wanted to talk, but
I think the earlier one. But then all I would like to say is that it's been good so far. Uh, I am actually stretching the chatbot. There is this paper I'm working on. What I did was that I load the paper to the chatbot and ask the chatbot to assume the position of citation and copy editor
okay.
to assess the paper and give me its recommendation, both strength and weakness. And I mean the paper, the bot was able to give me both the strength and the weaknesses and the areas to make corrections. So I'll ask the bot, okay, I need you to help me address the issues raised. I mean, the weaknesses. Um, it should help me address them and turn those weaknesses to strength and also harness on the already strength. And I mean, the paper, the bot was able to do that for me after I have effect the corrections. I'll load it back and I'll open a new chat under the intelligent orchestration and ask it again to reassess the paper. And I mean, it's been fantastic. Sometimes I will intentionally make some mistake at some portions. I need to bring out those mistakes that no, this portion of the paper, you've done this, it should be, and it's bringing your score down. You should take it out. You should do this. And I think it's been so far so good. Sometimes I'll ask the bot to bring out, let's say, 5, 6 papers that has been published with a journal, with a target journal that are in the same area as my work and benchmark my work with these papers. And it will do that and tell me where I have strength over those papers and the things I am doing that those papers are not doing. And I think it's been good so far. So for me, I'm really stretching the box and it's doing the magic for me. Thank you.
Thank
And
you
then,
so much.
and you have to pay more. And then you have to pay more. I mean, I think that what you have just dropped, okay. There are other things that can be done in addition. Like you said, you pick the, um, you tell them to bring maybe 3 or 4 papers from some of the top journals in your area of expertise. What you could also creatively do is that the first thing you will do is ask it to where you want to publish the that journal issue. tell you, or the topic area, it should tell you the leading artists, those who are having 10,000 citations or 100,000 citations, right?
Yeah.
It should do that one for you.
Okay.
Then it gives you two. Then you can say that, okay, uh, what you want to do is that these two papers is you merge their writing style and use it as the writing style for your paper. That
Okay.
is that's just it's just like grenade. You get it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh-huh. So you can do that. What it means is that you are using the writing style of the top most cited in your area of expertise. And whoever sees that paper and it listens to the voice or the tone, I mean, it means that you're already true. So these are things you can, I mean, creatively, I mean, do. Me, I combine maybe about three or four, come up with something unique to the extent that I review their papers and find a weakness and ask the system to turn that weakness to strength. So I become better than that guy who is most cited. All right. And I'll tell it, I can even within the model tell it that keep this writing style and use it anytime I want to. And then it will tell me because it's my platform. And that's why I said that you have to pay more. So I took your 2 minutes, so I give it back to you. So how many more minutes are you left? Is it 6 minutes? So Dela, you have to Adam, you have to pay more.
All right, dog.
Okay, thank you. Who else want to share his or her experience? Is it so far so good or so far so super duper? Anyone else? Okay, Madam Naomi Aqua, please go ahead.
Yeah, okay, thank you very much. So for me, I have been trying to use it to, there's this document that has been signed that needs to go through ministerial approval and something. So I've been trying to use it to create that brief. And it's done very well because then it pulls up other laws. It does it within the Ghanaian context, which I'm very happy about, and brings out other laws that either need to be amended or whether a new one would be done. And the interesting thing is that it tells you exactly and arranges it for you, as in, this is what has to be done first, this is what has to be done next. And what I did was I did different, I made it bring out different and brief, one ministerial brief, and then putting them together, it gives you a solid paper. So what I think is that, like we've always said, the AI is more of a tool that helps you to become more excellent, because those days you are supposed to go and fish out for the literature, fish out for the books, but now it brings all of them together. But if you are solely to rely on that one, that is where you go, because then it will bring out something that you yourself are not familiar with. And then I started something interesting. I will tell you that, okay, create a prompt. I asked it to create, is it a prompt diary or something for me? And then it will bring one prompt and tell me you can use it for this one. Then based on that, it will create a subsequent prompt. So it's actually creating a prompt library for me. And that is very good for me. So I think so far it's been so very good.
Thank you so much, and I appreciate your points. I hope you enjoy the rest of the class. Is it Madam or Mr. Volsuri? I don't know whether. Please, Volsuri. The person whose hand is up. I think you register your phone as Volsuri, so kindly go ahead. Okay. If I think the Madam, okay. Please, who again? I think the person is not ready. Anyone else, please? Okay, Mr. Raymond.
Actually, I was trying to log on. I didn't get the question. Could you please give me the
Okay,
question?
so we are trying to share our experience on yesterday's lesson. So we want to know your takes and whether it is so far so good.
It is so far
Hello,
so
hello, this is
so excellent.
Sorry.
Okay,
So
for Suri,
far so
I'll
good.
get back to you, please. Mr.
Okay.
Raymond is on the
In
floor.
fact,
I'll get back to you.
I tried my hands on it by picking a topic, and my prompt made it even to the extent of writing. AI suggested to me he wants to align the study to a specific journal or thesis guideline. For example, University of Ghana, UAW, UCC, knowing very well I'm in Ghana. And I wrote up to chapter 1 to 3. The chapters that I saw that are not enough for me, I asked it to expand. It added, even to literature review, it added extra topics. And where it became wonderful was that when I asked him to give me chapter 4, he asked me whether I should do chapter 4, data analysis and presentation simulated. It did the introduction, the various lines for which sometimes we are penalized, you don't draw the line properly, do them beautifully. Population profile. So I just entered a data set that I have already. My sister, it deduced everything in line. I just feel like publishing today. Seriously, I feel like publishing. So I don't know if I owe Dr. Boyson one should be here. Shall we
Yes,
continue?
you do.
Dale,
You
make
do,
you
you
repeat
do.
that part, the child beer. Repeat
Yeah,
that
you
part.
get it, Doc. You
Yeah,
get it. You get it.
Dr. Boatin, nobody has called your name. So don't.
I've said nothing.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Raymond.
But Raymond, let's just think about this in this manner.
Yeah.
What do you think will happen if you have a chatbot like this for a judicial system?
Or the judicial system.
What do you think? That we have
For
a
what
chatbot?
system, sir?
The
Yeah.
judicial system.
I see that when I fall into trouble, or it will help first on the side of the lawyers to help them to adjudicate properly.
In other words,
secondly,
you cannot file a wrong case before you start.
At all.
They will tell you, Master.
Yes.
Anyway,
even the accused are going to have a serious tangle with their lawyers, because if they search and know how to answer questions, it will be a serious play at the court over there, because he's going to answer questions properly. Yes.
Okay. Just to let you know that chatbot is available.
Good.
Yeah.
We are there for you.
So let's finish with this trouble first, and then we went into that. But let me also say that, Shana, you lead them. You get a course rep before we start, so that you can agree on the platform the next 3 days, which days next week or the following week you would want to choose, so that we add to it and we'll be able to complete whatever we are doing. Today we'll do the grant writing. We'll start the whole conversation and see how it will take us. But we need to complete these things in total. So we'll need the extra 3 days. I know that what we have done, most of you are very excited. You are willing to. But there are a lot of things we have not covered. We have done just like 10% of what a chatbot is capable of doing, right? Not 10%, even 5%. So we are yet to unlock what is. And I like the bit that Naomi is using it for something else. All right. Adam is also stretching it. And all these things, they work. I mean, it works well for you. So, Shana, you do that. Maybe ask if there are more questions or more comments. Then we do that. And like I told you the other time, the chatbot we have cannot be found anywhere. Why? Because we built it with a VPF. And the VPF is our creation. It is not for anyone. Right? So you are handling a weapon that you have to keep. That will distinguish you from other people. But then, if you now understand how to interact with the chatbots and get the best out of it, then you go beyond being an AI expert. What you become is an intelligence orchestrator, right? You generate intelligence yourself. And that's what I want us to, look at. So, Shan,
Okay.
if
Thank
we
you.
can look at that. Okay, Wendy, are you there? We are there.
I'm here.
Wendy, can you share with us what you have done? I think that quite an interesting conversation we had yesterday. Maybe let's pick our course rep first. I'm willing to give you 10 minutes because of what you've used the model to do. So it will guide our other colleagues what they should do. So, Shan, you guys should pick your course rep first. And you can nominate anyone or you can nominate yourself. Then after, Wendy will come in and then we start the grant writing.
Okay. So please, who is willing to be the course rep for us? Before course rep. Okay. Then I'm going to nominate anybody. Madam Naomi, can you be the course rep for us? Madam Naomi Aqua,
Hello.
please, you be the course rep for us.
Seconded. Thank you for agreeing.
You did that. You wait, make somebody mention before the second. This one, no, the child.
Okay, so somebody seconded, nobody's talking, so I have nominated her. Madam, I need a confirmation from you.
Yes, please, I hear.
So you people should know that Madam Naomi is a policewoman. You know, go take nonsense. They tell you. But I mean, for being a course rep, what it means is that you might get to join other trainings free of charge, right? So congratulations.
All right. So, okay, Mr. Evosu want to share something. Please go ahead. Let me give you the chance.
Has she accepted?
Who?
You asked if she accepted. She has accepted a long time.
It has been conferred on her already, so she has accepted.
Okay.
Ms. Evolsuri, please go ahead.
Yes, so thank you for the opportunity. I joined this platform just some few days ago, and as my colleague has been telling me, I think almost 3-4 months ago to join this platform. I wish that I had joined earlier. I have a PhD already, but it was tough. You know, the thesis was tough. Um, um, if I had this platform earlier, it would have been easier. Yesterday we were discussing, and I told him that I want to do another PhD again with this kind of platform. I know that I won't struggle. But I try, because I publish some papers. I try to use the platform to assess the weaknesses of those papers, and it pointed the weaknesses, so clearly for me, and I could see the loopholes in those papers. And I think that it's a great platform, and I'm happy to join it, and better late than never. And so I think that it will be very, very helpful. for those of us who happen to find this platform.
Thank you so much. I'm glad you
Thank
find
you.
it very interesting and very impactful. So, if there's no other person to give us his or her take, then Dr. Boyson. Anyone else before I hand over to
No,
Dr.
let's
Boyson?
allow Wendy. Wendy, share with us what
Okay, I didn't see. Okay, Madam Wendy, please go ahead.
No, she didn't raise her hand. I had a discussion with her yesterday, a voice
Oh,
note.
okay.
And I thought that what she's done, we might want to say it. So, Madam Wendy, you have the floor.
I'm not sure which part, because I know I had a lengthy conversation. Before I became part of this cohort, I was using the PFF or BFF, and
The VPF, yeah. VPF, yeah.
BPF, okay. I was using it for a project that there's a team that is putting together a program that is a three-prong approach for academia, professionals, and community. And the programs that we are bringing to this in our initial stage is becoming aware of our senses, our five senses, and how they dictate our decision making. And then also from a fear and anger and the emotional aspect and how those influence, again, our decision making. And then ultimately reaching to a vision of what we would like to see our ideal world. So in that, where we've created the program and we're still in the process of merging it all together, it's based on some work that was prior created, is coming up with the questionnaires, both on the intake and then also at the end, to prove that based on our program, they would have greater awareness. So, and we put that into, I'm going to just go here. I don't need to go into all of that. And so what I did is I put it into the chat box in what we were looking to create. And I only utilized initially the senses. And I can see how this framework that we're learning in these past 3 days and now the fourth day today, how it will synthesize it even greater. And so when I'm talking about this group of people on the team, we are initially taking it to 3 countries. So you can tell by my accent that I'm in the United States. Then we also have somebody in Malawi and somebody in the UK. And these are the 3 countries we've chosen to pilot the program. But we also have a contact in Mexico and also in Ghana. It's where it stemmed from, actually. And but we're not going to utilize, we already know it's been proven in Ghana. So now we're going to substantiate it with the data that proves it. And we're not just taking one aspect of a program, we're taking pieces of multiple programs to bring it together, ultimately to get people back in touch with the truth of who they are and their magnificence, so that they can then take this out to the world, and ultimately we can have peace, the inner awareness. We have a belief structure that inner peace will bring outer peace to humanity. And I know that's a big statement. We also, so I already mentioned about the three-prong approach, and I'm just looking here as to if anything I missed. Okay. So in putting it into the chat box, it came up with questions, and then it asked me all the different levels that we are speaking of, that we've been speaking of for the last 2 days, asking me all the different questions, making sure that it is appropriate for all of the 3 different countries. Well, I actually put in all 5 because ultimately we will be in all 5 and then span out to the world. But initially, because there's so many different requirements, both in the professional and in academia, and then to not have biases and mental health, and to have leading questions and so on and so forth from that perspective, and then to put it into a language that is generalized for all segments. So again, professionals, which is anybody in, I'll just use the terms that I'm familiar with in the United States, and that's continuous education credits. So that's psychiatrists, psychologists, teachers, administrators, social workers, anybody that needs to go back to school to get additional credits. And then in academia, we're going to be in the primary, the secondary, and in universities. And then community is parents and their children. And then also within that is through some charities. And so you can see that it's very broad group of people with various needs. And so I just kept asking questions, and then it would ask me questions to feed back to me to get more succinct in what it is that we're looking to create. I would love to share it with the group, but I think there's so much more refinement of what I've learned in these past few days, that what has taken me months and months and months just to try to synthesize was done with the VPF in minutes. And then by the time it asked me all the different questions, and then I answered it and asked additional questions, and then it just kept expanding my thought process, where I might have just been so general, it really helped me synchronize the questions so that the outcome of the questions will be able to be both quantitative and qualitative in our proposals. And so ultimately it will be to be published, as well as to be able to go into grant writing to get the money so that we can take it out to the world. That was a lot, I know. And I know this is more academia, but this is my life mission. So.
All right. So thanks so much. I just wanted to also hear from those from the diaspora. So ladies and gentlemen, this was what we're doing with Dr. Dela yesterday. I just want to draw your attention to something. Whilst I'm having this conversation, I can break it and do something else and come back. Right? So what I want to say is that, Dr. Dela, are you around? I want
Yes, I'm here.
us to pause for a while and zoom into the area of grants writing. what I need you to do is that for every conversation I have with you on grants up to an hour, just remind me if I want to switch to the this is what is it Prisma? To the above one. If you understand this, demonstrate it for me to see before we proceed. So instead I understood, I will switch into grant writing support mode. And for every grant related interaction up to an hour, I will periodically remind without interrupting substance whether you want to switch back to the MRR One Health review work we have just built. I think that the AI understands it, isn't it? That's it. Does she? In fact, the AI is a lady. Does she understands? She does, right?
Yes, she
I
does.
will not do this aggressively or repeatedly. It will be brief, clearly marked as a reminder, optional, not disruptive. Demonstration as requested. Context reminder, grant mode check. We are currently operating in grant writing mode. It's giving me demonstration. Would you like to continue with grant or switch back to the AMR One Health scoping review? This is exactly how it will appear. If you say continue with grant, we stay in grant mode. Switch back, we immediately resume to what? AMR review flow. If you say nothing, we continue seamlessly with what grant. I'm now paused and ready. When you are ready, please tell me what grant context you want to work on. Call, panda, or idea. So, who has any idea? Okay, let's even start. Dr. Della, you are at Noguchi. You guys need a lot of money, right? To do things.
A lot, yes.
So do you have any thoughts in mind?
I need more than
Idea?
her.
Sorry?
I need more than her.
As
Grant
a grant topic.
Not so let's plan it. So what you want to do is okay. This is still I believe you know my name and where I work and which area of expertise. Remember, I added your profile to what we were doing, right? So yes,
Yeah.
it knows. That's fantastic. Okay. So I want to behave, I don't know anything, right? So it tells me what I do. Could you advise any grants areas that are available 2026 for access? So, okay. So today, Dr. Dela, you do the reading for us. I think you'll be in a position to read for us, isn't it?
Yes, I can.
Okay, please go ahead. So let's read.
Okay. Yes, Dr. Dela, I can advise grant areas, thematic funding windows that are highly likely to be open or recurring in 2026, especially given your position at Noguchi Memorial Institute for Medical Research and your AMR One Health expertise. Below is a strategic FASA funding map of 2026 accessible grant areas, not speculative calls. These are structural funding priorities that major funders renew annually or biannually. Number one, antimicrobial resistance and One Health. Probability of 2026 access very high. Typical grant focus. National or sub-national AMR surveillance strengthening, One Health integration, human, animal, environment data platforms, implementation research linked to NAP's post-NAP transition, environmental AMR pathways, wastewater residues wash, stewardship and behavior changes, clinicians, vets, and farmers. Why this is strong for 2026? AMR remains a global health security priority. Donors are shifting from policy development, implementation, and sustainability. Africa and Ghana specifically remains underfunded relative to burden. Likely funder types, not calls yet. UK-linked global health funders, multilateral agencies, philanthropic foundations, Africa-focused health security initiatives. Noguchi plus AMR plus One Health equals excellent positioning. 2, lab systems, genomics and surveillance infrastructure, probability of 2026 access, very high. Typical grant focus, whole genome sequencing for public health pathogens, integrated disease surveillance systems, AMR plus outbreak pathogens, laboratory workforce development, regional reference lab strengthening, data to decision pipelines, labs to policy. Strategic advantage for you. Noguchi is already perceived as a regional laboratory anchor. Funders prefer institutions with existing baseline capacity. AMR plus genomics is a strong hybrid niche. 3, environmental health, wash and climate AMR interfaces. Probability of 2026 access, high and rising. Typical grant focus, AMR in wastewater, surface water, drinking water, climate variability and pathogen resistance spread, urban sanitation systems and effluent management, environmental surveillance models, example, tricycle expansion. Why this matters, environmental AMR is still underfunded, but politically attractive, fits climate, urbanization, and health security agendas simultaneously. Strong alignment with Ghana's urban growth challenges. 4, zoonotic diseases and food systems beyond AMR alone. Probability of 2026 access high. Typical grant focus, AMU, AMR in livestock, poultry, aquaculture, food safety residues, farmer behavior and regulation, One Health governance in food systems. Strategic notes, even when AMR calls are not explicit, food systems and zoonosis calls often allow AMR components. 5, implementation science and food systems. Implementation science and health system strengthening. Probability of 2026 access, very high. Typical focus, why policies fail to implement. Health systems bottlenecks, scale up of proven interventions, multi-sector government research. Why is this important? Many funders now want implementation evidence, not discovery science. Your AMR review work directly feeds into implementation grants. 6, capacity building, South, and early mid-career schemes. Probability of 2026 access, guaranteed, rotational. Typical grant focus, individual or institutional fellowships, research leadership development, networks of excellence, policy research translation capacity. Strategic advantage, often less competitive than large consortia grants, can be used to prepare larger 2027 to 2028 bids. 7, Pandemic preparedness and health security, AMR adjacent. Probability of 2026 access high. Typical grant focus, surveillance integration, lab preparedness, workforce readiness, antimicrobial supply chains. AMR is increasingly framed as the low pandemic. So these calls often welcome AMR components. How I recommend we proceed. Methodically, if you agree, the next step would be to narrow this into 2 to 3 priority grant tracks, and then 1, match each track to likely funders. 2, define grant size, small, medium, large, role, PI versus co-PI versus institutional lead. 3, build a 2026 grant calendar strategy, quarter 1 to quarter 4. I will not draft proposals yet. Only strategy and alignment per AIC doctrine. Context reminder. Grants, would you like to continue with the work? So grants writing mood.
So, what is your advice? What do we do? Guys, what do we do?
Grant writing mode.
So, what do we do? The option.
Grants.
Match track like to likely funders, define and build a 2026 grant calendar strategy. Or you want all the 3? Oliver Twist.
All 3 would be nice.
Okay, so I would like you to do all. Oh, I'm not typing. I would love you to implement all 3 in sequential order. Just prompt me when completed to move to the next stage. So our reader, we are listening.
Perfect. I understand this as implement 1, then prompt me to proceed to 2, then repeat to 3, sequentially and exhaustively with no skipping. We are in grants writing mode. Stage 1 implemented, narrowing to 2 to 3 priority grant tracks for 2026. Tailored to you, Dr. Helena Della, Research Fellow, Noguchi AMR One Health. Decision logic used explicit. Each track below satisfies all of the following: high probability of recurring 2026 funding, strong institution investigator fit, Noguchi, your expertise, clear policy relevance for Ghana, scalable from medium grants to large consortia, not overly dependent on a speculative new calls. Priority track 1, anchor track, AMR surveillance and One Health systems implementation. Why this is track 1, track number 1. Direct continuation of your AMR review work, pipeline integrity, aligns with post-NAP transition needs in Ghana. Funders are shifting from planning to implementation and sustainability. Core research focus, integrated AMR or AMU surveillance, human-animal environment, lab to policy translation, national or sub-national implementation research, sustainability of surveillance platforms, governance, financing. Typical grant characteristics: size 300K to 2 million USD. Structure: single country or regional hub. Time frame 24 to 48 months. Role suitability: PI or co-PI. Strategic note: this track is the foundation. Even if other tracks fail, this one almost certainly yields at least one fundable proposal in 2026. Priority track 2.
No, wait. So your view about this. Let's discuss so that we can.
Yeah, so it's telling us the
When I say
amount.
your view, it is not just Helen, Dr. Helen, all of you. So Helen, I mean, express your view so we hear from them as well. Go ahead. You were
So
making a
it's
point.
talking about, yeah, it's talking about possible scopes of the research and the amounts involved, the time frame, and the how I can function in any of these possible grants.
Ordinarily, this work, you would have done it yourself, and you may not be able to put it in this structure. Now, true or false?
Yeah, true. It will take a lot of
Yeah,
computation.
yeah,
She
who
could do
else?
it. It would just take a lot.
Wendy, what did you say?
I believe she could do it. It would just take her a long time
Okay. To do that,
put
to
it
put
into
it in.
this structure.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
And then I think the one other aspect I would ask is how big is the team? Because if you're going to take on all three tracks, what is the viability of getting them completed if it's just a sole person?
Yeah, so it talks about the personal investigator or co-personal investigator, right? Or principal, what they call the principal
So
investigator.
it's principal investigator or co-principal investigator.
But then you have the team, right?
Yes, it's
So
a huge.
right now, what he's doing is that it's mapping the requester. The requester is Dr. Helen. Everything is being built around her. So if we begin to develop this, into a grant proposal, we are not doing grant proposal yet. We are doing the tracks. So when we get into the proper proposal, that is where team and rules, all those things will fall in. All right, so let's move on. No one else is talking. Oh, guys, you should be able to talk. Oh, hello.
Hi, Doc. We are around.
Doc, we are observing.
I'm not saying you are not around, though. But you guys, the way the place look like cemetery. Huh?
No, we are observing and thinking of our own
Wahala. Okay.
our own means of getting our own grant.
Okay. All right. So track 2, let's go.
Priority track.
Yeah.
Environmental AMR wash and urban systems. Why this is track number 2. Environmental AMR is underfunded but rising fast. Strong urban relevance for Ghana. Allows cross-cutting framing, AMR plus climate plus sanitation. Core research focus. AMR in wastewater, drinking water, and surface waters. Sanitation infrastructure performance. Residues and environmental exposure pathways. Policy-relevant environmental surveillance models. Typical grant characteristics: size, 200K to 1.5 million USD. Structure, applied research plus system strengthening. Time frame, 24 to 36 months. Role, suitability, PI or technical lead. Strategic notes. This track differentiates you from purely clinical AMR researchers and positions Noguchi as one health environmental leader, not just a lab.
Okay. All right. Track 3.
Animal health, food systems, and AMU governance. Why this is track number 3. Animal AMU remains a major driver of AMR. Ghana has clear regulatory and access gaps, fits food safety, zoonosis, and One Health agendas. Core research focus, vets, prescribing and access pathways, farmer behavior and stewardship, residue monitoring and food safety. Where are we? Governance and enforcement.
Okay.
Governance and enforcement effectiveness. Typical grant characteristics: size, 150K to 1 million USD. Structure, multi-sector research plus policy, time frame, 18 to 36 months, role suitability, co-PI or thematic PI, strategic notes. This track often piggybacks on food systems or zoonotic disease calls, even when AMR is not explicit. Summary, your 2026 grant portfolio, clean and focused. So priority numbers 1 to 3, track, roles, strength, and then strategic purpose. Should I read them or it's fine?
Yeah, that's okay. And then complete stage 1. Your prompt to proceed to stage 2. You remember we said that you should do that sequentially. Okay,
Yeah.
so we move to stage 2. So this is the stage 1 when it says that it is doing what? The stage 1 was what? Was about
implemented.
it made mention matching each track to likely funders. Okay, so that was stage 1. So let's do stage 2 and see. So I think we can go with this.
Matching.
So when you're tired, let me know. I'll get someone else to help you, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Stage 2, implemented, matching the 3 priority grant tracks to realistic 2026 funders, roles, sizes, and timing. This stage answers one question only. Who is most likely to fund each track in 2026? In what form, and how should you position yourself? No proposal drafting yet. Track 1, AMR.
Let's discuss this part. Guys, what comes to mind? You see that grant writing itself, it is not the skill aspect of the writing, all right? It's seeing the whole process as a supply chain. And this system is taking you through it sequentially, all right? Or progressively for you to have that broader understanding of what actually you want to do. So you end up with this and you would by all means get something out of it. Something means that you by all means win a grant because you understand how the system is structured. Do you guys understand what I'm saying?
It's huge.
Hello?
It's huge.
Yes.
I'm listening.
Doc. Yes, Doc.
Okay. So I know in the past what we've been doing is that, when we take the call, then we put the call for the AI inside. Then we say, make it right, give us. We could take the thing, go, we'll not hear anything from them, right? And we get worried that every day we write and there's a problem. But what we are trying to do is we are in this age actually making meaning out from what we want to do before we even start writing the whole thing. Okay. And these things, if you want to do them manually, you might not get it right. Right. So most of the funders, sometimes what they do is they will get proposals. They still might not get the best out of it, but they have to give it to the one who sinned less, whose mistakes were not too obvious. And then they get something for you. Otherwise, they will not be able to disperse those grants. And the board, the number of money they disperse for project that brings impact, that shows their effectiveness. So they are always willing, if the project is good, always willing to, fund it. I hope you understand that. You know that that's what they do. If you are part of a grant board, your objective is to make sure that that money is spent. That brings impact to your organization. So if proposals about 20 come and then you don't any of them do not meet the requirement, you might be seen to be either too rigid or the fact that you are not advancing the cause of what the board, because you sit on a board, you are paid, and they expect that this money must go. So that has been the issues. So let's move. Let's get another person. Let's get a male voice to read for us. And thank you so much, Dr. Dela. A male voice. You see, in this life, you should always be the leader. When they say something, take your head, go first.
So is it starting from track 1?
Please. I think that there's a feedback from your background. Is it Raymond?
And Jacob. Oh, okay.
Okay, Jacob, go ahead.
Track 1.
Track 1. AMR surveillance and One Health System anchor track. Best fit founder type, high 2026 probability. 1. UK link global health and AMR founders. Why? UK remains the global leader in AMR implementation funding. Typical focus.
Let's wait.
Post.
Then why? Did we know until now that UK remains the global leader in AMR implementation funding? Madam Dr. Helena,
No,
are you aware?
no, I didn't know. But
Okay.
I know I know about the fact that they fund a lot of AMR work, but I didn't know they were leading. So,
Okay.
welcome past those people.
So the advice for those of you on this platform who are into grant writing is one of the things you need to do is to use this platform to look to maybe get some sort of a cross tabulation, right, of funders and their area of funding. Do you understand? And their rank. You can easily get that because you need that matrix. You don't just go online and say that I'm looking for something, search out and you know. You need that data, and this can give you. You can even interact with this on the platform to see. And you can even ask for their requirement before you even go to their website. And how many projects have they funded over the period, over the past 2 decades? Do you understand? How many projects? What has been the impact? You need to think in that direction, and it makes life very easy for you. Boss, go ahead.
Typical focus. Post NAP AMR surveillance. One Health integration. Sustainability of national systems. Lab policy pipelines. Your positioning. Role. PI and co-PI. Country lead. Institutional strength. Negotiate as national reference and surveillance anchor. Competitive edge. Existing Ghana AMR structures plus and implementation gaps. And the grant size is USD 500K to 2.5 million, 24 to 48 months. Timing pattern is concept note often Q2 to Q3.
That's
Full
what
proposals.
Sorry. Yeah, go ahead. Q2, Q3 is Q2, Q3. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yes. And full proposal Q4, Q3, Q4. Multilateral health security and AMR platforms. Why? AMR is increasingly framed as slow pandemic. Typical focus: surveillance integration, workforce and lab capacity, data systems, regional leadership hubs. Your positioning. Role is co-PI or technical lead, Noguchi, national or regional hub. Strategy is joint consortia rather than solo bids. Grant size is 1 to 5
You
million.
you see the strategy. Would you want to talk about it, Dr. Allen? Do you see the strategy? Or Wendy, do you want to talk about it? Those of you who have been, and Dr. Watson. So it's mapping your institution, all right, into the strategy. It said joint consortium rather than solo what? Bids. What is the implication of that, please? What thoughts do you have?
So there are some grants that as a solo scientist, they would automatically not give you because they expect that you have a team set up to be able to collectively do the work to make it work. So they would prefer seeing a team of scientists who are applying for that grant. So what he's saying is very true.
Okay.
Looking at the amount involved.
Okay. Yeah. The amount is 1 million to 1.5 million.
Yeah.
Yes. Bob, go ahead.
Track 1 verdict. Highest probability of success in 2026. Should receive primary efforts and early preparation.
Hey, madam, they say you have high probability. Oh.
Let's do
Now,
it.
sharp.
All right. So it says that, let's go.
And then track 2 is environmental AMR, wash and urban systems. Best fit funder types. 1. Environmental health climate foundations. Why? Environmental AMR sits at the intersection of multiple agendas. Typical focus: wastewater surveillance, urban sanitation, environmental exposure pathways, climate and infrastructure resilience. Your positioning: role P1 or PI. Edge: rare combination of lab and environmental AMR expertise. Framing: public health protection, not only microbiology. And then grant size is $250K to 1.5 million USD, 24 to 36 months. And the timing is often Q1 to Q2 or Q3 annually. Water and sanitation focused donors. Why? AMR is increasingly recognized as wash externality. And then typical focus: drinking water safety, wastewater treatment performance, urban sanitation systems. Your positioning: your role will be technical PI or health lead. Strategy: partner with engineering and municipal actors. Grant size is 200K to 1 million. And so the track 2 verdicts: strong differentiation track, slightly higher conceptual framing demands, excellent visibility if funded. And then track 3, animal health, food systems, and AMU governance. Best fit funder types: agriculture, food safety, and One Health funders. Why? AMU in livestock remains a political priority. Typical focus: veterinary prescribing, farmer behavior, residue monitoring, food safety governance. Your positioning will be role co-PI or thematic PI. Strategy: partner with VSD or MOFA, and food safety agencies. Grant size: 150K to 1 million, 18 to 36 months. Timing often is Q2 to Q3. And then 2, zoonotic disease and pandemic preparedness funders. Why? AMR fits into zoonotic spillover narratives. Typical focus, livestock systems, surveillance and regulation, One Health governance, and then your positioning will be, can you please scroll? Role is co-PI, strategy, embedded AMR components within broader zoonosis, right? Proposal. Grant size is USD 5K, 500,000 and 3 million. It should be consortium. Track verdicts, moderate probability standalone, high probability as embedded components, vulnerable for policy impact. So cross-track strategy timing map for 2026. Quarters are listed, what to prioritize in each quarter.
Okay. So the last stage is stage 3. So we proceed towards stage 3.
Okay.
But what are you seeing as unique on what we are doing?
So
What is your insight? What is your insight? Let's talk some more. What's your insight?
So initially, you, as scientists, what we do is we just go on the net and search for available grant calls. And then even if we have proposals that we've written before and we are just waiting for a call to push it, then we just reframe it to fit their call, submit, and then wait on an answer. But with this, you are prepared ahead of time to prepare your proposal way ahead of time, know the type of grant call to target, and then you push it.
Super. Who else?
Yeah, Doc. Yes, sir.
Proceed.
Yeah, I feel when projects of this nature will encourage you that you are not doing it in isolation and that there is a backing. Since AI is telling you that go here, you get money for the project. You sort of get a vim to continue, you not end halfway.
Is it AI that is telling you that the thing is that?
And to add to what he just said, most of the time, I believe that the reason why sometimes we are bounced is because probably maybe you apply as a solo person, and then maybe it shouldn't have been so. It should have been a group of people, not just scientists, because looking at the different presentations, sometimes you have to even strategically align with some policy makers or people in Food and Drugs Authority. Like there are so many different associations or collaborations that you need to have in order to win certain grants of certain amounts. So that's what I'm getting from here.
All right. I saw Raymond's hand, or is it the old hand?
No, yes, sir. Doc, because he that too, because sometimes you embark on a project and you'll be thinking, even on campuses, if you are about going to the field to take data, whatever, you add the cost to the project, there is no helper from anywhere. For example, what I experimented this afternoon, I just, should I say, tested the waters to ask AI, Could you please suggest to me papers or journals in which I can publish without cost? And it enlisted them for me, and quickly I saved them. The spirit allows. And that's
That
why I
was very
said
good
we have a
information.
backing, and really, if it's not a come again, sir.
That was very good information, right?
So once again,
I said that was a very,
yes,
very
sir.
good information for you.
Serious one. Yes,
Because now
it was very good, excellent.
publication have been monetized, right?
So seriously.
Okay.
Seriously, I have some there I cannot publish. Some $100, $150, $200 before you publish. Actually, in well-recognized
People
journals.
are talking about $200. People are paying $4,000, $8,000 for just one paper.
You see?
Yeah. They've monetized it.
And it will take 1 year to be published.
Okay, so we are going to stage 3. Let's look at stage 3. But the other thing that I was expecting to hear from you, with this process, you actually learn. By the time you are done with writing one grant, you would have understood the process yourself. All right? And it gives you that leverage also for options. It does. So now stage 3 is about
I also
what?
like the fact that it actually gives you a range. Sometimes we underestimate or overestimate, and based on that, they reject. So it gives you a range of how much you will spend.
Yeah. There's a lot of modeling behind the scene. Okay, so let's get another reader to read this one for us. Once you have a male and a female, we have more males on the call than females, right? Is that correct? Okay, so let's have another male read for us. Let's have another male read for us.
Yeah. So can I continue?
Oh, proceed, yeah.
Yeah. Proceeding with stage 3. Now exhaustively and still in grants writing mode. What you ask for in stage 3 has 4 concrete outputs. 1 to 2 concrete brand targets per track, not vague funder categories. 2, concept blueprints, into bracket tight 1 to 2 page logic, not full drafting. 3, partners needed, plus win conditions, plus risks. 4, a 2026 action plan, what to do first, second, third. Then stage 3, implemented.
I like the last part, right? What to do. Okay, let's go.
Stage 3, implemented. Concrete 2026 growth proposal concepts, plus partners, plus win conditions, plus action plan. Track 1, AMR, surveillance, and One Health systems. Anchor track. Target 1A, concrete. NIHR 2026 Global Health Security Thematic Core, AMR theme. NIHR has announced that April 2026 launches a yearly global health security scheme, and the first year focuses on later stage trials and implementation research to tackle AMR with funding up to £5 million. Concept.
I think that there's a feedback from your end. Can we just look at it?
So is it okay now? Is it okay now, sir?
Am I the only person hearing it? Or you guys are also?
Yeah, I
Okay, now,
can
sir.
also hear it.
There still is.
Just a
Is there
minute.
still a feedback? Yes, sir.
Just a minute. I have to refresh the page.
Okay.
Let me see what is. Let me see what I can have to. Okay. Anyway, whilst we wait for this to refresh. If you guys have any question, my internet is also okay. What is? Still loading. Oh, if anyone has any question, the thing is still loading now. Try to stop it and then restarts
Yeah, Doc.
the process. Yeah, go ahead, please.
My question is why is it that our universities don't utilize the various research works that we do? Is it because they are not of quality? There are a lot of research works that are rotten on the counters of the various libraries. That, to my observation, why, Doctor?
Is that they are not using what? The universities are not using what?
The research works that we do, no matter how small it is.
The one we do, but
yes,
they themselves, they know that what we do is not research. That's why they don't use it.
Oh, yes, sir.
No, they know. Most research works are outsourced, isn't it? True of us.
Anyway, majority.
No, it's not anyway matter. Let's talk about you go bring them high. If you go
yes.
you go
But most of the research at the universities are done purposely for promotion and not for policymakers. That is the reason why it's up there. If you want to utilize the research, it should be based on specific industries needs. Then the industry can now tap into your research and utilize it for.
Yes, sir.
Boss,
publishing a generic one.
They
will not
know,
yield any.
They know if you are going to do your defense for your thesis, they know you didn't write it. And
Okay.
some of them also who are seated on the panel also know that they didn't write theirs. So it's so let's go
It's
ahead.
like if man,
Let's do the right thing. And that is why most of us who try to bring things in order,
yes, sir.
those of us who learn every day. Maybe I've not told you, since 2012, right? That I had,
Yes, sir.
I think was it that first master's or what, second master's? Since then, each day I read an article, minimum one. Each day, up to onto today. Today, before I sleep, I'll read. There's some interesting article I've seen, I'll read it. Every day.
Yes, sir.
You get it?
Okay.
Every
Yes,
blessed
sir.
day I read a paper. So if you bring a topic, and for the past 3 years, I've been dealing with planetary and cosmic research, right? That's what I get myself into. That's why you saw me doing. I was having a conversation with Dr. Deline. I was saying that I was talking about DNA replication, right? I think yesterday I wanted to show you guys something. And you are not a scientist. You don't need to be a scientist. Those guys who are into philosophy, those Galileo and others, most of them were not scientists, pure scientists. They were not, right? In fact,
yes, sir.
Initially there was nothing like geography or science. We only have one area. We just decided to divide them, biology and all that. You get it? So it's very important that you read and then you broaden your horizon, all right, in areas. And ever since I went into this astronomy,
Yes,
astronauts, planetary bodies, life is very interesting. You sit and you have fulfillment, all right? You don't think about going to build a house or doing something because the way you understand the world is from a different perspective. When you see people jumping
yes, sir.
around, you just look at them and you laugh. You understand? Because
Yeah.
if you know what is there and what is there that it is unknown, if you get to know that there are trillions of galaxies and Earth is just like a dot, like if you take the sun, it's like one grain of the sun, it should tell you that, see, we have not even started at all. You get it? We haven't.
Which anywhere.
So
Okay.
what we do here, and people, they think they are somebody and all that. You just look at them and then you shake your head. Because people don't even think the other, bodies on other planets, they don't even know that there's life on Earth. People don't really know that we exist. You get it? Because the universe is very wide. So these are things, climate issue, these are things that we should be worried about. Whether we are going to go into extinction and the past maybe 20,000 years, where we're seated now, were there human beings here? What language were they using? We need to be asking questions. We need to, and in fact, the VPF have been built to also handle that. If you want to go back and see those things, please let's move. That's why.
Thank you.
Let's go ahead.
So it's that it's 3 implemented. Concrete 2026 brand targets. Proposal concept options. Partners. The thing is blurred here, sir.
It's blurred. Let me reshare. Guys, is it still blurred? Or is your internet?
It's clear now. It's on and off.
Reasonable.
Can someone else read? If he's not seeing.
Then if it's clear, then somebody can pick up.
Okay, so it is stage 3 implemented. Is it that one, please?
Yeah.
Okay, so concrete 2026 grant targets. There's a black something that has, okay. Proposal concept options, partners win conditions, and a 2026 action plan. Below, I'm turning the 3 priority tracks into specific grant targets you can actually pursue, with 1 to 2 targets per track, plus concept options, not drafted proposals. Required partners, risk and win conditions, so you can move from themes to bigs. Track 1, AMR surveillance and One Health Systems implementation. Target 1A, is it N1HR Global Health Research Thematic Cells, AMR focus in 2026. Why it fits 2026 ready. NIH.
Do you see that there's a reference here? Have you seen it?
Yes, Global Health Research Funding Programs.
Okay, let's go on.
Okay, so NIH House Global Health Research Thematic Polls explicitly state 2026 focus on later stage trials and implementation research to tackle AMR. Best fit concept options, choose one. 1. Post NAP AMR implementation package. Scale up of stewardship plus IPC plus diagnostics linkage in sentinel facilities with outcomes tied to feasible indicators, antibiotic consumption metrics, guideline adoption, blood culture / AST utilization. 2. Integrated One Health data to decision pipeline, harmonize AMR / AMU / environmental indicators, build governance and reporting cycles quarterly, demonstrate use in policy decisions, not just data generation. Partner set minimum viable. Ghana Health Service, surveillance and facilities. Food and Drugs Authority, Ghana, regulation / AMS alignment. Veterinary side, veterinary services direct, AMU / animal pathway. Environmental side, Environmental Protection Agency, environmental interface. Host or research anchor, Nukushi Memorial Institute for Medical Research. Win conditions we viewers look for. Clear implementation bottleneck plus measurable implementation outcomes. Strong governance and decision use plan. Who uses the data when and how? Realistic scale. Don't try to nationalize everything in one grant. Okay. Primary risk. Over scope. Control it by limiting to sentinel sites plus 1 to 2 regions, then designing a scale plan. Target 1B, Fleming Fund Ghana phase, ecosystem, country grants plus fellowship plus MAAP, wide phase. Phase 2, Ghana work is explicitly about consolidating surveillance towards an integrated One Health system and strengthening WGS bioinformatics with NMIMR referenced as a sequencing center in the expected results. How to approach practical. This is often not a single open call. You apply to as P1. Instead, you position for sub-awards, work packages, or technical leadership inside funded structures. Country grants, fellowship scheme, MAAP, data initiatives. Best fit concept options. 1. WGS / wastewater plus clinical linkage. Build a pipeline that connects, isolates from sentinel hospitals and environmental sites with harmonized metadata for policy reporting. 2. MAAP style historic data mobilization. Digitize and structure historical AMR / AMU data sets and build a reproducible national baseline. Win conditions, demonstrate readiness, existing lab capacity, governance, and data management SOP. Show use case. What decisions get better in 12 months? Track 2, environmental AMR, wash, sludge, and urban systems. Target 2A, ICAR's One Health implementation type opportunities. IPC/AMS plus agri-food farm systems. Why it fits ICAR's RFPs and welcome linked work emphasize intervention/implementation research across One Health, including hospitals and agri-food systems. Best fit concepts. Concept options, IPC/AMS, quality improvement, environmental interface. Okay, link facility, IPC/AMS, Q1 projects with monitoring of effluent wastewater to show pathway reduction measured, not assumed. Okay, wash AMR exposure reduction package. Target high-risk water points and sanitation nodes. Measure microbial indicators and resistant organism pre/post interventions where feasible. Partner set. Municipal sanitation utility, waste water treatment operators critical. EPA plus local government implementation permission. Hospitals for effluent connection. Win conditions, an intervention you can actually implement, not just sample. Simple, robust indicators plus implementation feasibility. Target 2B,
the target 2B is there. It also gives us what we have to do. Target 3, animal health. Now, the good part of this is that now it takes us to the funding institution itself. Have you seen that? Have you seen that? Are you guys with me?
Yes, we have seen it. We are with you.
I don't know whether you understand what I'm saying. It's taking us to the joint transnational call 2026. It's taking us to the core, isn't it? Hello.
Wow, this is
Yes. Yes.
You didn't realize it. I realized that you didn't get it. That's why I'm stressed.
We are getting it. It's like I'm surprised because it tells you what you are applying, like what you should write, and it's giving you the places you should send those applications to.
Exactly.
Yeah, we just had to bring our chin up off the floor because our mouth dropped.
All right. 2026 Grant Action Plan. And you see, the way it mapped it up to this stage, and that is why I will tell you that I love reading. When it comes to knowledge, I am very aggressive. When it comes to learn, I'm very aggressive. In other words, I wish I could capture everything. So if you did not go through this, people might think that whilst we are reading through, we are wasting time. We are not. I'm just preparing your mind. I just want to structure your mind how you should deal with this platform and what value you're going to get from it. There are a lot of government institutions that are looking for funding, right? The World Economic Forum has some big funding opportunities, right? For projects, climate change, a number of things. But because we don't take time to read, it becomes an issue. And even if we read, we might not be able to structure this proposals grant this way. Now we are giving you So when we're building this platform, what we said, one of the requirements was that whatever we produce will not suffer any rejection. It was part of the guardrails. So what it means is that it is a whole 360 supply chain network process that you are being taken through, and to make sure that you don't suffer that. And yesterday when we were talking about plagiarism and then similarity index, you saw what the model told us, right? It said it won't happen. It won't happen means that, I mean, the way we take this whole process where we start, we are not going to face any challenges, I mean, looking into the future. So in all these things, it doesn't still tell you that everything is okay. We've still not drafted the grant. So there's the action plan, not generic. It said action plan executable, not generic. Step one, pick your A bid, B bid this week. A bid highest probability is told you track A. Then it's giving you the funding what? Institution, right? Bid B, it gives you track 2. Step 2, build a 1-page concept note per bid. Next, each one paper should contain problem plus why, Ghana specific intervention package, study design, implementation, science framing, site, Sentinel plus population indicators, partners, risks, and then step 2, partner securing parallel, identify one name focal person in each partner institution, and draft a role, matrix, implementer versus data ownership, pre-submission internal readiness check, ethical pathway where needed, data governance, and implementation what feasibility. So it says that stage 3 completed, you're prompt to proceed to the next stage. Reply, proceed towards stage 4. In stage 4, I will generate exhaustively 2-page concept notes, a bid plus 2 bid in a funder-facing structure, a partner role and a governance matrix, a budget skeleton, no numbers invented, just cost categories and logic, a submission readiness checklist tailored to the chosen founders. Context reminder, grant mode check. Would you like to continue with grant or switch back to, right? We want to continue with grant, but look at what it has done. Recent AMR funding signals relevant to 2026. Have you seen it? That's what it's done. Helen, have you seen it? Doc.
And this one there, this weekend, I have to.
Oh, relax. Just relax. Take it slowly, right? Take it slowly. So it's giving you, these are the relevant funding signals relevant. So when you click here, it takes you to the website. All right, Times India. And you have some information there for you. And the reason why this becomes exciting is that, you see, we kept saying that our gold is data, right? It's just data. And once we have data right now, and we know what to do with data, we are good to go. So I'm going to say proceed to stage 4. And then I'll stop at a point in time, and then we switch, and then we look at another type of grant. But let me say this, if you agree with me, these biological sciences, they are granted. It is not easy, landed. But of course, if you're able to go through that and understand, that it means that the social sciences, your grant shouldn't be a problem. Do you agree with me? I'm not being biased. Do you agree with me? All right, because for them, they have to really prove, all right? They do critical trials, do a lot of things, go to the field. For some of us, we write grants just to get money for training, right? Or maybe go and then get child education. Do you get what I'm saying? I don't know if what I'm saying makes sense, or you agree with me.
Yes.
It's clear. It's clear,
It's
sir.
Yes, Doc, it's very clear.
It's way more stringent in the physical science.
So now that we are, Dr. Helen is in a comfortable lead, it's still going to help us, isn't it? It's still going to help us. So ours will not go to that extent. So once this is stretched, then we understand, we see this process we are going through, then it is just good news for us. So 2-page concept note, partner governance matrix plus budget, skeletal plus submission, readiness checklist. At any point in time, this system was to make sure that there's something called guardrails. I'm going to explain it to you. I mean, in the next, when it's, Shan, when it's 8:30, just prompt me, so I'll switch to explaining the VPF, and that is what is going to help us move to this level. So it's the data is pooling. There's a lot. Let me see this. If you have any question, you can ask me, please, whilst we pull the data.
Can we put the initial prompts in the chat?
The initial prompt, I'll copy the entire thing for you guys.
Okay, thank you.
I'll copy the entire. Most times, students don't even trust me that I'll give them the prompt. But I'll still give it to you anyway. Let's see. You get the prompt, and you still have the. Oh, Wendy, you were asking the question. You shouldn't be afraid.
Yes, yes.
You know where I enjoy this class? It is when I sit and then listen to the recording. That's where I enjoy. When I'm alone, you get it. Aha. So if you are the type who play this over, there's a lot of insights you get into this when you are alone. The data is
silence.
Yes. And I do this quite well. I do it most often, listening to myself. Okay, I think we have something here. Good. I think we are good. So this stage 4. Can we get someone to read for us? I think this one is worth reading. Can we do that? Hello. Yadom, please read for us. Since there's no name. Are you there, Yadom?
Yes, Doc, I'm here.
So please read for us.
Okay. All right. 2. one-page concept note plus partner to governance metrics plus budget skeleton plus submission readiness checklist. I'm using two live 2026 accessible targets. One, a bid, NIHR Global Health Research Thematic Call 2016, AMR Implementation Research, course open April 2026, and reference.
Yeah.
2. B bid, European Partnership, One Health, AMR Joint Transnational Call 2026. New treatment to tackle AMR. Pre-proposal deadline 2nd February 2026. Full proposal deadline 17 June 2026. Concept note A, 1 page. NIHR 2026 thematic call. Data stage trials and implementation research to tackle AMR. Working title, Ghana One Health AMR Implementations Accelerator, GOH-AI, strengthening data to decision surveillance and stewardship across sentinel human, animal, and environmental systems. Lead institutions proposed: Noguchi Memorial Institute for Medical Research, PI, Dr. Helena Dela. Problem.
No sign. Go ahead.
Problem, Ghana specific. Ghana has a mature policy base, NAP era, but needs demonstrable, measurable implementation scale up across One Health sector, especially surveillance to action circles, facility AMS stroke IPC execution, and cross-sector data used for decision making. Overall aim, to implement and evaluate scalable package that improves AMR stroke AMU surveillance utility, antimicrobial stewardship, and infection prevention with One Health integration and policy uptake. Objectives, implementation focus. 1, establish stroke strengthen a sentinel One Health surveillance to action cycle, quarterly review plus response actions. 2, implement a facility AMS plus IPC bundle in sentinel hospitals, guidelines, audits, stroke feedback, diagnostics linkage. 3, extend One Health linkage through targeted animal MAU governance and environmental surveillance nodes, feeding the same decision platform. 4, measure implementation outcomes, adoption, fidelity, feasibility, coverage, and selected service indicators. Design, pragmatic implementation research, multi-site implementation study, stepped rollout or control before after, depending on visibility. MET method, routine data plus audit plus interview to identify barriers plus stroke enablers and refine skill model. Sites, example structure to be finalized by partners. 4 to 6 sentinel hospitals, 2 regions. 2 to 3 animal production systems, example, poultry, livestock, value chain sites. 4 to 6 environmental sample nodes, wastewater, stroke drinking water points linked to sentinel catchments. Intervention package, what you will do. Establish One Health coordination and data governance, SOPs. 2, AMS stroke IPC quality improvement, prescribing audits stroke feedback, guideline reinforcement, diagnostic stewardship. 3, AMU governance, micro-interventions in animal systems, recording, stewardship training, access pathway mapping. 4, environmental AMR surveillance, that's protocolized sampling, feeding risk signals into quarterly reviews. Primary output stroke outcomes, feasibility in 24 to 36 months. 1, functional quarterly data to decision forum with documented action logs. AMS indicators antibiotic consumption metrics and guidelines adherence measures. IPC indicators, facility IPC assessment changes where available. One Health integration metrics, share indicator set, reporting cadence, cross-sector action triggers. Partners call, Ghana Health Service, facility perseverance, Food and Drugs Authority Ghana, stewardship stroke regulator interface, veterinary service, Directorate Ghana, animal AMU governance, environmental protection agency Ghana, environmental interface. Why NIHR should fund this? One, direct alignment with NIHR's 2026 AMR implementation theme, the reference there. Then high policy utility, scalable and generate transferable implementation learning for LMIC health security. Two, concept notes B, 1 page. European Partnership, One Health, AMR.
Helen, how do you see this? Doc, they've written the proposal for you.
Yes, so.
The proposal is written. The 1-page concept note alone.
Together with the title.
Yeah. Yeah. What is done. So let's go.
Okay, so European Partnership One Health, AMR, that's
okay. So let's go
2022.
to, this one has also been written, the aims, the objectives, the design, deliverables, and then it gives what? Partner, role type, core responsibility, key output they own, right? Which normally in proposal are in grant writing, governance mechanism, steering committee, budget skeletal, no inverted numbers, no logic, personnel, training, field operations, and it tells them their role, data systems, community stakeholders, travel, equipment, only if not justified, indirect costs, contingent compliance, submission readiness, checklist tailored. So it gives you the readiness items confirmed. You see, the one for Europe, readiness checklist, and they say your prompt to proceed is to proceed to stage 5, reply with proceed, and I will produce still exhaustively a 2-page executive concept pack for each bid, problem, objective, design, indicators, partners, risks, and a partner outreach email set, and then a timeline Gantt narrative aligned to each funder's deadline. And that's it. I think it's almost 8:30. Let me give this to you guys. From this point, I wish you well. Just continue. If you have any issue, just draw my attention to it. I'm going to help you sort it out. But I want us to... So you see this platform, what is happening in terms of how the model works like magic, right? You become very excited. I'm going to show you what is behind. Would you want to know? I want to show you what is behind.
Yes, I want to know.
Yes.
What is behind? So I'll put it in the, and of course, Helen, you can go ahead. You guys can also complete it and read and understand. You could at a point in time switch and say that, could you pause and then let's look at this this call also, right? Then we take it out from there. See, if we are very intentional about this, I can tell you, you are in for something very good if you are intentional about this. And I'll advise you to read. Always read. If you don't understand anything, you ask the model. It's going to help you, solve that problem. So this platform has been given to you, but ideally, if you look at my, we cannot minimize. Okay. If you look at my my chatbot, there are a number of people here who have the visionary prompt framework, okay, which is a file that you can purchase. If you go on, that is if you want your GPT, what you've been using, not just this platform alone, but your GTP to have the flexibility of working like this, then you, just a minute, you may have to go to this platform. I'll put a link there. This is our digital store. So you get in here and there are several books here. We are going to load by this weekend. We'll add more. By middle of next month, you might see over 50 books here. So this is our prompt Bible. You can just purchase. The download will be in your, if you want to view, this is what it is. There's a prompt Bible. There's other images of the same book. And for the visionary prompt framework, I don't know why the internet is okay. The visionary prompt framework, you can have it here. This is the new program, the new training on employment that is coming off, and other, but I want to move to the VPF platform. So when you come here, you can just add card. Wendy, you've used this platform, right? I think you use it.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so that is it. So this is the visionary prompt framework. This is what we are talking about. So you can just purchase it. It will give you a file, and then it will show you. It comes with a README list. It gives you guidance how to install it, and then you are good to go. All right. So this is it, and this is what I'm going to talk about. So the VPF is a sovereign governance, system. It sits on all the LLMs. When I say LLMs, it sits on Gemini, it sits on DeepSeek, and all the other LLMs. So it was designed to change the algorithm. The Western algorithm that has been imposed on us is to set it aside and then allow the system to think from a different perspective. So if I ask my model, when you ask your GTP what is VPF, it doesn't know it. It will go online and then pull my name, right? Okay, if you ask what is a visionary prompt framework, it doesn't know. But because I've installed it here, it is easier for me to query it. So when I say what is VPF, it's going to give me an answer because I've installed it on it. So it says, it stands for Visionary Prompt Framework. It is not a chatbot. Have you seen it? Are you guys in here? It's not a chatbot. And what I'm doing is very, very important. So you know where we are coming from. And it is not a prompt engineering. VPF is a full-scale orchestrating system designed to turn questions, ideas, data, and intentions into actionable outcome across policies, business, and order. So VPF, in simple, it is an operating system for thinking, deciding, and building with intelligence. That is what it is. And instead of asking AI one question at a time, VPF coordinates multiple forms of what? Intelligence. So what we did on the platform today was not artificial intelligence. Even though we're using ChatGPT's platform, we were using a system that coordinates multiple forms of intelligence, of which AI is just one of it. So we have human intelligence, we have artificial intelligence, institutional, indigenous, neuron, and all that unknown. And so this is the architecture of the VPF. Okay, it's defined its own architecture. That's fine. So chambers of intelligence. The first layer is the chamber of intelligence. It is at the governance level. And here I want the researchers here, those with PhDs and masters who are getting themselves seriously into research, those who are into funding, to appreciate this. Because you would need this model to do so many things. Those who are into climate activities, I have a friend called Lord. I don't know whether Lord is on the call. All right, he's doing something about climate change. Okay, you need to understand this. So the chamber of intelligence becomes what? The governance system, or take it to be a category. So in our intelligence, system, we have human intelligence as one. Human intelligence has a role to play. We have artificial intelligence, which is harboring this whole platform also in our model as one intelligence, right? Then we have institutional policy, indigenous accessory, we have natural, ecological, economic, and all that. But there are specific ones I want to draw your attention to, okay? I said each chamber, who can read this for us? Each chamber does what? Each chamber does what?
Each chamber contributes different truths.
Okay. The VPF is based on 3 cardinal principles: integrity, truth, and sovereignty. Integrity, truth, and sovereignty. And if you know, we want to know why the model doesn't hallucinate, because hallucination brings false information. So from the governance layer, which is the chambers of intelligence, it talks about only truth, right? Then we have the second layer, which is the council of lenses. Lenses describe how intelligence is interpreted. Let me give you an example. If we have a definition of climate change, and literature is telling us as climate change is X, Y, Z, the VPF will not just look at what is documented in data, right? It will come under human intelligence and ask, how would Nkrumah define what? Climate change. How would Elon Musk define what? Climate change. Same data. How would, so it talks about what? How intelligence is interpreted. We are not going to take what is documented by the Western world as intelligence, but how we perceive it. Okay? And this is at the core. So for each chamber, you have human chamber, you have what? Lenses under what? Human chamber. Right? When you go to artificial intelligence chamber, you have lenses, which looks at what? Perspectives. Okay? It said the same data viewed through different lens produces different what? Decisions. Same data. IMF came here and told us that we have run a loss of what? $240 million. And they put it in the report. And the opposition is happy. If we are viewing this with, the same lens and the same data, we will say it is the cost of the policy, but not loss. That's how it's interpreted. Okay? So whilst they are talking, they are spewing something that should generate or discourage Ghanaians from doing the things that they are doing to stabilize the city, right? Because there is no, World Bank and IMF has never wanted any good for any Western, African country. It is just another way to manipulate us. But you could have different views, same data of perceiving it based on truth. So that is the second layer. So for instance, do you know why now you were just excited about what we have done so far, the research, what is happening and all that, and it says it will not, as it were, hallucinate and all that, and you're seeing that what is coming out is just on point, is because this same data we are having access, all of us, we are using different perspectives. We are interpreting it differently, all right? And the core of the VPF is that the VPF sees everything as every network as an intelligence system. So Noguchi, for instance, will be seen as an intelligence system. It will not be seen as an institute. Now, what Wendy is doing with his group will be seen as an intelligence system, not as an institution. Universities are not seen as what? Institution that train people. It is actually an institution that what? Orchestrates intelligence. That's how VPF sees these things. So for you on the platform, it doesn't see you as what? A researcher. It sees you as an academic intelligence orchestrator. All right? That's how it sees you. So it doesn't relegate you to something lower, but because your cognitive power of thinking, the VPF, enables it to do that or amplifies it to do that. All right? So these are lenses. Then what we have done is also introduce what we call boats. Boat is the normal boat and not. So what boats does is that, you see, for every chamber, there are lenses in each chamber, lenses. Each chamber has its own boats. Each chamber has its own cognitive validation matrix. We'll talk about that. Each chamber has what? Execution levels. Each chamber has what we call modes and then sub-modes, right? So what the boat does here, this boat, is that it ties the execution level, the modes, the agents, the cognitive validation matrix, the lenses into its own chamber. So if human intelligence chamber, it ties it to it. That is a way to ensure that the model works, chambers work independently. And even if they leave the chamber to create synergy with other chambers to produce something, they maintain their identity. This is to ensure that if human intelligence is writing an article, it plays its role as the writer, but nothing else. Artificial intelligence does not pass the back door and try to write something. No. So both ensure discipline within what the chambers and what the chambers does. So that's what both does. So at the level of the chamber, the lenses and the bolt, we have dealt with hallucination. That has been dealt with because it doesn't crisscross. The reason why we also have bolt is that beyond tightening this, bolt also ensures that the VPF, which is the planetary version, works within each continent as it is. So we have within this planetary one, we have Europe, America, South America, North America, Asia, Africa, Oceania, Antarctica. We have all of them. So I can switch to, North America and start working there. I can switch to, North America and start work. I can switch to what? Asia. So VPF is saying that, the boat is saying that if I decide to pull a concept from China, which is from Asia, and I pull it to what? Africa, and give it an African context by idea from China, the boat ensures that the idea ID is replicated, is traced from China, which is being used in Africa. So the boat ensure that these chambers work as they are supposed to work. And that's very exciting. Then after the boat, we have, I think it didn't bring this, so please provide me with the original structure from the planetary version 2026 with chambers, lenses, bolts, CVM, modes, sub-modes, agents, and execution level. Okay, so I have it here. So we have the lenses here. We have the bolt here. The cognitive validation matrix. So let's look at this. We've talked about the bolt, right? So the cognitive validation matrix, it says, how do we decide something is valid knowledge? And this is very exciting. In fact, the whole issue about hallucination, apart from the structural level, this is actually how the data is treated within the system. The CVF replaces single source validation with multi-axis coherence texting. So what does it do? Before it brings an output out, it first screens it from logical coherence. That is internal consistent reasoning. And I would like us to do this. We've not done this before. Provide a short notes and examples for the CVM from 1 to 7, right? So let's see this. So logical coherence. Notes. Checks whether the idea is internally consistent. Assumptions, reasoning, and conclusions must align without contradiction. That is the first layer. So example, a job creation policy claims to reduce unemployment by automation and increase manual labor demand without explaining the transition mechanism. Fails what? Coherence. It will reject it. A policy that explains automation first, increases productivity, then expands downstream what? Services, passes what? Coherence. Guys, did you get this? 2, contextual truth. Before the data comes out, so if Adam, you are here, that is why you were getting 10, 18, 1% and 0%. I'm telling you where it's coming from. Okay? All right? So test whether the idea fits the lived cultural, economic, and institutional realities of the environment where it will operate. Do you get this? Contextual truth. So they are saying that they are going to implement some vaccines here. Dr. Della, it is asking that whether the idea fits the lived cultural, economic, and institutional realities of the environment where it is lived. Most policies in Africa fail because of this. And no one cares. We have put this thing here, another checker. Example, deploying a fully cashless payment system in rural Ghana without mobile coverage fails contextual truth. Designing mobile money first system using USSD and agent network passes contextual truth. Now, functional utility. Note, ask a simple question. Does it actually work in practice? Theory alone is insufficient. In practice, does it work? An example, a sanitation AI model that performs well in simulation cannot be maintained by local assemblies. Fails what? Utility. So a simpler dashboard used daily by district officers pass what? Utility. Now, ethical soundness. It evaluates whether the idea preserves human dignity. Please, you will give me some 20 minutes more to finish this for you, so you get more context with it. I'll beg you. So evaluate. Do you people agree we go extra 20 minutes because I want to explain this? Or we still close and then when we fix that one in our 3 days?
No, please continue.
No, you finish.
So evaluate whether the idea preserves human dignity, fairness, consent, and intergenerational responsibility. This is big. It evaluates whether the idea preserves human dignity. And I can tell you, you see this AI in local language that we want to implement. If the educational minister passes it through VPF, it will reject it. It will say that Google cannot implement our local language. It will take it away. But a contract is signed to be implemented. Do you understand? Does it preserve human dignity? Does it preserve fairness, consent, and intergenerational responsibility? Yes. The only thing, if anybody knows the Minister of Education, they should tell him that he has just signed the death warrant of this country by giving our language to be developed into a Western tool without context, without nothing. That is the worst thing that we could do to ourselves. Because the only identity we have is our language. That's what identifies us. That's what defines our spirituality, our culture. It comes from our language. And once they get hold of our language, we are dead. Okay? So example, using citizens' health data without consent for AI training fails what? Ethics. Anonymize opt-in data with community oversight passes what? The ethics. Now, systematic compatibility checks alignment with the existing system, legal, technical, social, economic, so that solutions does not break sounding what? Structures. And then temporal robustness. Test whether the idea remains valid across time. Short-term success must not cause long-term what? Failure. So it also checks that. And then plural validation requires confirmation across multiple intelligence chambers. So those 8 or 10 chambers must agree, not just one source of authority. No, they must all agree. All right. So a mining project validated only by economic returns fails plural validation. A project validated economically, environmentally, culturally, ethically, and institutionally passes plural what? Validation. So CVM. CVM ensures that an idea is logical, real, useful, ethical, compatible, future-proof, and collectively validated before it is allowed to scale. So if you saw your grant proposal being written excellently as if nothing has happened, this is the guy who is behind the scene doing the wonders, the CVM. All right? And you saw a statement like, this is not, when it's typing something, said, providing something, said, this is not speculative. Did you hear that? He said, this is not speculative. Did you see that? Several times.
Yes.
Did you see it? I'm just drawing your attention to it
Please.
because for me, because I developed
Yes.
the platform, it says this is not, so it was given only valid, not presumptive ideas, valid. Okay, so we are done with this. Now the next thing we'll look at is what? Modes, right? Mode. What is the intent of the intelligent activity? All right? What is the intent? So I say, explain modes and submodes to us, same as previous. When I say same as previous, as it did first. So it said, what is the primary intent of intelligence at a given moment? Modes define why intelligence is being used. Why? So exploratory mode. Note, use when the problem is unclear. The goal is discovery, mapping, and sensing what? And sensing. So example, a government knows youth unemployment is rising, but doesn't know why. Data mapping, stakeholder interview, trend what? Scans. So it use what? Exploratory when you want what? Discover. Then we have an analytical mode, all those mode. Sub modes here, we even have what we call the guardrail mode. What does it do? It activates ethical, legal, and what? Sovereignty protection. So stopping an AI project that violates data privacy and national what? So sub mode. How focused, deep, or specialized is the operation within a mode? So sub-mode define how intelligence is applied. So if you take comparative sub-mode, note, compares option, cases, or models. Example, comparing Ghana TV system with Rwanda and Vietnam. So we have modes and then sub-mode. That is where the operation actually happens. Then aside modes and sub-modes, we also have agents. agent, who or what is doing the work. All right. Let's do the same thing. Do same as previous. So agents. Who are agents? Agent answer one question. Who or what is actually doing the intelligence work? Agents are role-defined actors, human, artificial, hybrid, assigned specific responsibility inside a VPF operation. So we have human agent. So Dr. Della, your grant was written by a human agent. It was not an AI agent. The AI agent was doing validation. Now, we brought this agent, but we've not made them autonomous so that we can control them. These are not agents that can take the role of human. We have governance system there that human remains central. So note, human who contribute judgment, experience, ethic, and contextual understanding. Example, judges validating an AI-assisted questioning system, AI reasoning agents, artificial system that analyze data. So when it came to analysis, that's what it does. We have the data agent responsible for data collection. Then we have validating agents that enforce so the cognitive validation matrix itself, there is an agent that does that work within the VPF before decisions are approved. Ethics agents are there, coordination agent, learning agent that capture feedback, performance data, and all that. All right. And then all that. So aside that, we have what the do same to the execution level. So execution level. What is execution level? So we've done quite a number. Execution level answer one question. At what scale is intelligence being applied or coordinated? Each level determines scope, complexity, stakeholder, and risks. Please take note of this. Each level determines the scope, complexity, and stakeholder risks. All right? Execution level 0, concept ideation. Level 1 is individual. Level 10, team and project. Level 100, organization, institution. Level 1000, sector and ecosystem. Level 10,000, national. Level 100,000, multinational, regional. And 1 million, continental. It said applies to continent-wide frameworks, infrastructure, or intelligence system. A Pan-African AI scale platform serving multiple nations. Then we have a level 10 million. I just added this yesterday. Planetary, right? Addresses global challenges involving multiple civilization, global AI governance norm, and then we have the infinity level, where we are talking about civilization, like a new planet or intergenerational. So in the universe, the different galaxies we have, each one represents one civilization. So designing intelligence system that protects generation, autonomy, and dignity. So execution level define how far, how wide, and how responsible intelligence is allowed to operate. Prevent who overscaling fragile ideas, classify who must be involved, and align risks. So this is actually what it is. So provide me a practical example of a grant proposal applying the structure of the VPF. and ensuring that this proposal passes the test of not the test of rejection, Rejection. Is that correct? The test of rejection. Is that a good English?
Yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure. The test of rejection. So this is a typical example. So let's see. Below a practical rejection resistant proposal that explicitly applies to, it is written the way serious donors, multilaterals, and foundation experts clear problem, logic, validation, rigor, and all that. So you can reuse this as a master template for your future grant. Hey, say you can use it all. So you people will be interested. So VPF aligned planetary version 20 rejection resistance. Now see what is going to. AI enable use skill and empowerment intelligence system for Ghana's informal and formal economy. Now, executive summary. Youth unemployment in Ghana persists despite multiple training programs because skills in intelligence, labor, blah, blah, blah. He said this project proposes a VPF driven intelligence orchestration system that integrates human, institutional, and all that. The project will pilot in 3 regions, impact 10,000 youth, and establish a national scalable intelligence framework aligned with what Ghana's development priorities. The problem statement, validated, not assumed. Core problem, youth unemployment intervention failed because training is supply-driven, not demand. Informal economic intelligence largely invisible. Policies are designed without real feedback loops. Evidence of the gap, skill training not linked to actual job creation. Data silos across ministries, NGO and private sector. Youth trained without access to capital, platform, and market. VPF diagnosis. This is not a training problem. It is an intelligent orchestration with failure. Right? So it's a VPF framework application, core of the rejection resistant, chambers of intelligence, CI. So he said human intelligence, youth aspiration, how it was used, artificial intelligence, demand prediction, matching simulation, institutional intelligence, how it was used, economic, indigenous. It's telling you how this intelligence was used. Then the unknown unknowable, which is what we don't know, we don't know. I didn't explain this. So in the chamber of intelligence, we have the human intelligence chamber that talks about cognitive reasoning and all that. Artificial intelligence talks about simulation of the human intelligence, pattern recognition, and it's used for prediction. Then you have the natural intelligence that talks about our ecology. It talks about all the things that God created, including the heavens and the earth. It's under natural intelligence that we're able to do the mining using the earth and intelligence, heaven and earth intelligence, where we're able to use some, patterns to be able to detect whether there's mineral here. It also talks about the forests, the plants that we have. There are plants in the forest that when you use some leaves, you can be invisible. There are some that you can use to do, heal. Most of African tradition and cosmology and our medicine comes from our plants. It doesn't come from what the Western world has given to us. We understood how we could live for so many years before the Western world brought whatever they brought. And so, natural intelligence, we're able to, even the best of the air, we're able to build intelligence from them. We're able to build intelligence from the aqua life. We build intelligence from stones. We build intelligence from the air, energy. Anything, natural intelligence, we're able to build. All right? And then we also have the synthetic and hybrid intelligence. That is a confluence of artificial intelligence and that of human intelligence. In fact, that is what Dr. Dela, you guys will be using in building humanoids and robots. It talks about biology. It talks about confluence of natural and artificial intelligence. That is synthetic intelligence, what they call synthetic and hybrid intelligence, which famous AI is just promoting. Then we have the indigenous and the ancestral intelligence. That's what anchors Africa. Now, the indigenous ancestral intelligence, it looks like a spiritual something, right? But what does it do? It's spiritual, not spiritual like the mystical spiritualism that we talk about, that you don't know where something is coming from. It's spiritual because it is in our DNA as Africans. It is in our memory, in our thought. Our forefathers knew, our mothers knew that it will rain. Nobody told them. It was that memory was transferred to them by their ancestors. So that's who we are. All right. So we know before the weather forecasters brought machines, we knew that it would rain. Even mineral discovery and other things, it was still in our brain. It was in our memory. It's the white man that took that memory and then devised these devices that is able to, geospatial device that's able to. But we knew your mother can step somewhere and say that, oh, this place could be a place that there is gold. Let me tell you a funny story. This guy I'm saying some 10, 15 years ago, like 15 years ago, somebody had a concession at Osino, and he said that we should go and look at it. So we went there with some Chinese guys, went and look at the place, and then we came back. And then the chief there said that we need to see the chief priest. And when we see him, he will tell us where the gold is, so that we don't go about digging. Then I was telling him that, those times, I mean, we are very spiritual. So we say, oh, what kind of thing is this? Then I said that whatever they want to do, they should do, but I will not be there. So they went and bought fowl and blah, blah, blah. They did those things. But the day we're going to the field, I was with them. The interesting thing is that the guy was just walking around. He gets to a place that he puts his staff. He said, dig this place. Did you know that there was a place we went and we saw just gold nuggets in a hole? He just put a thing there and he said, there is gold here. Now, we think these things are spiritism, but these things are predictable. It follows a certain predictive model. And what I have done with this ancestral and indigenous intelligence is that we build these models that were in our memory and infuse it into a chamber called an ancestral and indigenous one intelligence, where you have our language in there. And I can tell you, if we go back and we find out a certain area, 10,000 years, how many people, how people lived in that place, their culture, their religion, and all that. The ancestral and indigenous intelligence can actually invoke that for us, right? It can invoke it for us. So we have the ancestral and indigenous intelligence. Then we have the cosmic and the ancestral and indigenous intelligence also talks about our language. And that is why I'm actually scandalized when I heard that. I mean, Google is going to do what? With our language. Okay? If we told you that our ancestors said we shouldn't go to farm on Tuesday, AI interprets it as that they didn't want to go to farm on Tuesday because they wanted to rest. But our ancestral spirituality didn't mean that. It didn't mean that. That interpretation is very wrong. That's not what it represents. If our ancestors said that we shouldn't, the river bodies that we have, we shouldn't go to fishing at a certain date, it doesn't really mean that we wanted the fishes, the aqua life to be preserved. There was a meaning to that. That is in memory. And that's what we have abandoned. So we brought it back. Right? So I want to just, I'm interested, I want to tell us about the ancestral and indigenous, is it correct? Indigenous chamber, what it represents. So pay attention. The ancestral and indigenous intelligence team represent knowledge systems developed over centuries of lived interactions and environment, society, economy, and spirituality, transmitted through oral tradition, cultural practices, apprenticeship systems, rituals and norms, community governance, ecological stewardship. It is the intelligence encoded in practice, not in journals. Did you hear that? I want to see if you're on the call. Did you hear that? Somebody should read that clearly. It is what? Intelligence encoded in practice, not in journals.
Not in journals.
If a community survived for 300 to 1,000 years, it solved problems repeatedly. That solution memory is intelligence. Or don't you think so? I think that Wendy, you will like this, really, because of what you are doing. So why this chamber exists in VPF? Why? Modern systems fail because they treat indigenous knowledge as what? Folklore. Exclude non-written epistemologies. Assume validity only through Western academic methods. VPF correct this by asserting survival tested knowledge is evidence. Longevity is a validation signal. AI ensures that contextual wisdom is not overwritten. No, ancestral and indigenous intelligence ensures that contextual wisdom is not overwritten by imported abstractions. What this thing is not, it is not superstition. It is not anti-science. It is not nostalgia. It is not untestable belief. Take note. It is empirical long-time horizon. It is a field-tested knowledge. It is a systems intelligence. Don't ask me how did I create it, but that's what it is. So core dimension of this, that's what it gives. Knowledge of soil regeneration, seasonal cycles, crop what? Resilience, water management. Example, indigenous mixed cropping, blah, blah, blah. Then it says that social governance intelligence, conflict resolution, leadership legitimacy, social accountability, economic intelligence, barter system, labor sharing, apprenticeship, health and well-being intelligence, preventive and holistic approaches, herbal medicine, falls and ancestral and indigenous lifestyle-based healing, mental and spiritual healing. I mean, Dr. Helen, you can get into some of these things, all right? See, plant-based remedies later confirm effective by what? Pharmacology. Temporal intelligence, long horizon thinking, seventh generation responsibility, seasonal patience, regenerative logic, and how AI is used practically in ancestral and indigenous and ancestral intelligence is used practically in policy design, validate whether policy align with community norms, prevent resistance and non-compliance. In AI technology, provides local rules for data interpretation, local rules for Western data interpretation, avoids algorithmic misclassification, it avoids it. in development projects, ensure sustainability beyond donors, how is validated. CVF logic coherence is in there, functional utility, ethical soundness, and plural validation. No chamber dominates alone. One sentence, the ancestral and indigenous intelligence chamber captures survivor tested knowledge embedded in culture, ecology, and social practice, ensuring that modern systems do not forget what kept societies alive. That's it. My time is up. I asked for 20 extra minutes. So what I want to say is that, ladies and gentlemen, this is what created, that platform you are seeing. And forget about the fact that it's a lot of work. But if you see anything happen, you shouldn't be too excited and think that it's a miracle or something. This is something that was done. So we are going to create we've created a lot of things. You saw this intelligence economy, job creation manuals, that a class that is coming on. This is its manual, right? And like I'm saying, that is another thing in itself. So I'll pause here for you to ask your questions. Your course rep will decide on your platform the next 3 days, next week, which days to pick, so that we can continue from there where we left off. We will take other grants, and now I would ask you to bring your data, if you have any data already collected and you want to publish a paper, bring it along, bring your concept along. Because we have 3 days, we use one for thesis, one for paper, Scopus index or high index, and another one for also grants. But it's an ongoing process. We are going to stay in this team for 3 months. If there's a similar training like this, you guys are going to join the training. But if it's a different training like what is coming, you'll just be given discount to join. But if it's a similar training, like we are going to run another thesis training, you will just be asked to join without paying anything. So if you have any question, you can ask. I put my gun down. I'm done.
Doc, I have a question about the academic intelligence. So
about what?
Not for the VPA, but the academic intelligence.
Okay, the platform, yeah.
Yes. So if I can share my screen, so I show you exactly what.
Oh, please go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I was using it for my assignment. So usually when I do my assignment, like discussion boards and papers, I usually miss a few points for.
Can you mature your voice a little?
Okay, so I was saying that the reason why I joined this is because usually when I've been using the AI, like for whenever I do my assignments, sometimes I lose points for APA. I lose like 1 or 2 points for APA citation and things like that. So this time around, there is a paper that I've already done. And for me, I've looked at everything. I feel like it's okay. But I decided to use the academic intelligence to help me find out if my APA citation, the APA 7 citation was okay. So I uploaded it and it gave me all the issues that it's found. Then after everything, I told it to if it could correct it for me and give me the document, which it did. And this is it. And I downloaded it. But when I went in, some of the issues that I noticed is that, for instance, it was it was 1.5, but I know that the spacing was 1.15. I know that with the APS7, it's usually 2.0. And the reference, for instance, it wasn't centered. And I know that the headings.
The reference was not what?
The reference, usually this reference here is supposed to be in the center for the APA7. And also the headings, they have level 1 heading, which like the first one is supposed to be centered and the second one will be like this and the indentations. So with that, I know that I asked the APA to do it for me, even though it showed me. Do I have to manually do what it shows? Like, because what it gave to me, it looks like it wasn't exactly up to the APA7 formatting.
I think the problem has to do with you, not the platform. There are two things.
Okay, I'm probably doing a wrong prompt.
Not prompted rightly.
Okay.
So
if you could
Dr.
tell me
Watson
the right
is here. So once you know him, I mean, see him, and he's going to guide you through that. And let me also draw attention to something. Our Microsoft Word versions that we are using, most times is quite different from what, I mean, the download. So you could even ask specific version if your version corresponds with that, so that issues about spacing and all that would not be misrepresented. You know that if I give you a document in Word and my version is a lower version and you have a higher version, they tend to be discrepancies. Are you aware of that?
Yes.
I'm only asking if you are aware of that. So
Yes,
that
I'm
is
aware of it.
that is, but this one is not a problem at all. And in terms of what is important is the work that it has done for you. And for me, if you ask me, Jolene, work like this, like the APA style, and I would want to do it manually. Even though the AI can do it. There are certain things I don't give to the AI. I give the complex work to the AI so that myself, I don't become lazy. You get it? I have a manual, I have a role that I have to play. So up until now, when I'm writing books, right? People think that I have to write everything and then ask the AI to download it for me. No, I don't do that. I write, in fact, section by section, right? And I feed my data and all. That's what I do. Even though I'm able to do faster. So it is some sort of partnership, I mean, between myself and because that interaction is there, it's able to help me. So this is not a big issue. Dr. Watson, help Jolene, out on this. Who else has a question? And course rep, if you have something to tell us, any announcement for us, let us know. But let me thank all of you, Dr. Aqua, all the PhD holders who are here. How many PhD holders are here? Please raise, if you can just signal with your hand up. Let me know how many PhD holders we have here. I've seen Dr. Aqua. Okay. Okay, I've seen 2. I know we are more than 2. And then Wendy is part, and then I think we should be more than that. It means that Dr. Nogan, Dr. Nogan is also here. He's also part. I know. You didn't raise your hand, so I didn't see whether you were part, but I know you are part. So I think we have about 6 or 7 PhD guys here. All right, so let's go and then work with the model. The model is your own tool. Don't share that link. It is nowhere. Unless you give it out, nobody is going to see it. Right? You are getting it for free, but people are buying it at a very exorbitant price, right, for just getting the model. So it should be your your weapon, all right, that you use. You could use it to do other works at the website. So it should be your weapon. And
So,
once we
Doc,
finish, yes.
yeah, so don't forget to send us the work we did today.
Oh, but I've sent the first one. You have
Oh,
not seen it.
really? Then I missed it. Okay.
You've not seen it.
No.
Hey,
Hey, and then Macau.
Bongo there.
Okay.
Doc, did you say you were going to give us a book for this class?
Yeah, I'm good. I said I was going to give you a book. Yes. So let me say this. I'm going to put, I'll send the book, on the, this is the second link. The first link was sent. Please, can someone post the first link? Repost it. So please, I'm going to put a Google form on our platform, right? This Google form will be used for your certificates, the data in it, and also to send you the book, the manual. I think I showed you the manual. So please, when we put it there, many of you, when we put something on the platform, you don't even bother to watch. And then you send me a private message complaining. That one, I'm sorry. I'll make you see that I've read it, but I'll not mind you, right? So if we put the thing there, it means we want to reach everyone. But if you don't read it and you come back to me asking questions, it becomes a problem. Okay? So let's just take note of that. Yes.
Yeah, so I'm joining for the first time today. So
No,
I want
so the good news is that we have 3 more days to go, and you're going to have the recordings. Whoever asks you to join can share the recordings with you. I believe that person is on the platform. If he's not on the platform, reach out to me. I'll repost the videos.
Doc,
Today,
I'm your old member, so I joined myself. I saw it on one of our platforms. So
you're
I'm
an
part
old
of you.
member.
Yes, I'm with you long time from the beginning.
Hey, and then you are illegally here because everybody
I saw
here
it on one of,
no,
that's why
everybody
I
here
called you. I saw it.
pays before joining. John. Aha.
Yeah, so I paid.
Aha, then you are legal. Then you are not illegal. If you pay, then you are not.
We communicated, so you sent me
So
a
please,
private chat.
so please let's fill the form and then let's go through the process. All right. This certificate will be on intelligence or intelligence academic orchestration. Okay, academic writing orchestration. That will be the certificate. Some of you have the intelligence orchestration certificate already. So this has to do with academic. And we are having some collaboration with CSIR. And those of you who prove to be, very outstanding, will be invited to join that project. Okay, of research, grant writing, and all that. There's a very big, project. I think Shan is the one. Is Shan here? Shan dropped off. Shan is the one leading the project for us here. In fact, is the principal contact for us. So just take note. And Naomi, please let us know the next meeting and have a discussion with your people on the platform, and then let me know, so that I don't want us to stretch it too much. Today is Friday. I know some of you are going to stay online and work. And so let's see the next day we will want to do this, so I can position myself well. Your hand is up, Doc. Dr. Noga, your hand is up. Or is the old hand? Okay.
Hey, it's the whole hand. No.
Okay, sorry.
It's the whole hand, sorry.
Yeah.
Doc, please, do you have any preferred days so we can choose any of the days from Monday to Friday?
Do I have what?
Any preferred days, like should it start from Monday, or you prefer some of the days off, or you be busy any of the days? So
No,
put something
it's
on the
what you tell me. It's what you tell me.
Okay.
You know, this 2026, my principle is that I don't block any day for anybody. Right? So because someone can tell you, I realize 2025, oh, let's book this date for this training. Then if the training will be the next day, he'll call you today and tell you that, oh, something happened, and then you miss everything. So I leave the days open. Okay. I don't have any special, everything I do is tentative, so that if this doesn't work, this works for me. So I don't waste the time. Because we don't have too much time to live on this earth. So if you guys want Monday and you fix the date, then I can book it. I know we will not, postpone it. If you want to start from Tuesday, then we begin with Tuesday and we take it out from there. Okay.
Okay, so it's 3 days, right, sir?
Yes, with 3 days. And I'm saying 3 days. You could decide that the 3 days you stagger it. You want to do one Tuesday and the other one Friday, and then the other one. If you want to do it on a 3 days trot, that is fine. I think that once what you have taken now, you have to go and then do some practice and then query the system and have so many questions to ask me, right? And we can take it out from there. Otherwise, it becomes some way. It's learning.